Okay, so I've got another question for you. What what sets your business apart from others in the area? Why should I go to Pakalolo?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Our product is I think one of the only product grown all natural in the state.
Okay.
Like we put a lot of effort into our cultivation department.
Okay.
We're growing all natural living soil. Our soil has earthworms in it. Like we are trying to cultivate the plant as naturally as possible. We use no pesticides. We make all of our nutrients that go in to feed the plant.
And so it's all done at your warehouse
Yeah,
location.
right there in the warehouse. Yep.
Okay, so am I to assume that where those big garage doors are, behind those garage doors, you just got this big, massive UV light filled worth of plants?
Some are in like smaller rooms within that. You know, that building used to be a food distributor.
Yes.
And so inside there's like big commercial fridge, big commercial freezers.
Yeah.
We retrofitted those out to be our flowering rooms.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then within the warehouse, there's like our big vegetative area where, you'd see a big, glow of lights.
Yeah.
A bunch of plants. And
Now, so are there any chemists involved in what you're doing? Or are you guys just...
I'd say what we do, we're cultivators, so we're closer to a farm, basically we are an organic farm moved inside. And so we are farming, like we are growing plants.
Okay, so all of your mixes, so all of your different strands, they come from somewhere else, but you just plant them and grow them.
We've bred a lot of our genetics as well.
Okay.
So it's all farming. It's all like planting seeds and growing plants. It's just inside, so we can do it year round.
Okay.
And so basically inside our warehouse part is all a cultivation facility where it's basically an indoor, an outdoor organic farm moved indoors.
Got you.
And then we have a processing area for when we are harvesting the plants and trimming the plants, drying them out. Got a packaging room where we've got an awesome team of packagers that are making joints, weighing out prepackaged grams and eighths, packaging up stuff to go to all the other stores that we supply around the state.
Right.
And so then
around the state. Okay, now so you guys actually, because I know the owners of Tundra.
Yeah.
The
drinks.
The drinks.
Yeah, we have their drinks in our stores.
And so they told me the story one time of how they actually have to hand carry to every place. Is that the same thing with?
Yeah.
Oh,
all of the cannabis products got to stay on the person as they're transported.
Okay, so what is your area that you
We're
encompass?
statewide. We're statewide. We have
Barrow.
We have product up in Bethel. We have product in Nome. We have product in.
And you can't ship it FedEx.
Nope. It's all going on a flight in a backpack, or it's got to stay on the person. So yeah.
Wow.
That's like the rules within the state. So we have a state manifest that says here's what I'm transporting and here's where it's going.
Okay.
Type of thing. It's all logged. And so, we have to get product out to Juneau and Ketchikan.
Good Lord.
And Kodiak.
Wow.
We have product in Anchorage in the Valley. That's a lot easier because it's on the road system. But yeah, we've got a handful of different off the road system retail partners that we send our joints and flour out to.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, man. So I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bruh. I'm a big gangster. And
Snoop Till.
No, I'm serious.
I ain't that drunk yet.
I'm a big gangster. And so I say that because coming from the hood, we've all had the Al Pacino Scarface posters on, and we all know the quotes from Al Pacino and Scarface. We do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we do in the hood.
Monterey, California.
Whatever, man. I'm a big gangster. I'm a big gangster. But anyways, okay, so
36, the gangster.
Okay, so don't get high on your own supply. How do you not get high on your own supply? Or do you okay?
I'm high right now.
I think we all knew that.
Every time you've seen me, I'm probably a little bit high. Like, I don't know if you've met. Most people in Fairbanks have not met. Like, unless you knew me 10 years ago, like, you have not met, like, sober Keenan. Like, I am high all day. Like,
Okay, so, so it's just amazing how this turned from, like, a hobby into you're the first dispensary in Alaska.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I mean, that's some amazing stuff right there.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it went from being like a little bit of an idea to
You've got some good people on your team.
Hell yeah, man. Like
you have to have a lot of good people on your team.
I mean, first of all, it's a family affair.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
my dad's our CEO.
Yeah.
We kind of retired him, but he still does all of our behind the scenes. He's a businessman. He does the licensing, the taxes, he really, if we didn't have that would, I can see how this industry is challenging.
Yeah.
And I'm not skilled in that. My brother is quite skilled in that type of thing, but like having my dad to mentor him and him being able to take over the business side of things is like super important for us. Because there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
But like my dad's involved, my brother's involved. He started out just doing the business stuff, and now he does everything as well. He's fully involved in the grow, and we just really are full-on partners in everything. My sister waters plants for us. It wasn't like her intent to join the family business, but she was like, it does sound kind of fun and like kind of nice to just put on a podcast and water plants all morning. That's a fun job.
Yeah.
So she gets her Zen time every morning. So and my mom, helps a little bit with the books for us.
Okay, now, so is this so do you see this as being like a generational thing, like your son and his son, and it's going to be just a boom?
Man, I sure hope so. Like, that's kind of the plan, that our business sticks around long enough to where if my daughter or my son wants to take over, that would be awesome. And they're definitely already getting an education in the cultivation and agriculture. My daughter just won the science fair at her school and at the district science fair for a project on earthworms. All on earthworms. And so it's like we're already teaching them the ag side of things on like how to grow plants just in general. We also have a small houseplant business. And my daughter is very involved in helping me pick out plants for the small houseplant business.
Okay, so I've got a question because you said earthworms, man, and so I just want this to be on record because I sort of spit this out right now. Is there a market for like THD-laced fishing earthworms? And is that a byproduct of your, because
that's like the highest. Understand that I work in a weed shop, and that's the highest question I've heard all week.
I mean, but I know there's got to be a point where you're like, man, we got too many earthworms. What can we do with them? Sell them to Tilden, and Tilden will take them down to like.
Are you looking for bait? Are you looking for bait?
Bait worms. Yeah. THC laced bait worms. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, man. I mean, our worms are just hard at work disposing of all of our like excess leaves, and they're doing all of our like byproduct disposal for us.
Yeah.
And then they poop out nutrients.
Right.
And so
right.
Then, it's just we've got like probably a dozen little worm bins that we're feeding all the time with our we got a coffee shop on the other side, so our coffee grounds all go into there.
Okay, so a little birdie whispered in my ear that apparently you guys, like, your coffee shop was voted like one of the best coffee shops, or the best coffee shop in Fairbanks.
We were voted best cup of coffee in Fairbanks.
Like
on the News
straight
Miner
up.
thing.
Okay,
Best
so
cup of
like
coffee,
so like straight up real deal non THC laced.
We don't have to put THC
CBD.
in it. We can put THC in it, but we don't have to.
But it's just like straight up coffee.
Yeah, we make a mean cup of coffee. We work with our friends down at North Pole Coffee Roasters.
Okay.
And they they're great. They're in the neighborhood, so we have
Yes.
really quality coffee to start with.
Yeah.
And then we get people high before we hand them a cup of coffee, and then they're like, "This is the best cup of coffee I've ever had. I'm gonna go vote for them on the news
And they
monitor."
vote.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
they vote
I
on the
said-
news monitor. Thank you.
We
Yeah,
were
they vote.
shocked as anybody to be voted best cup of coffee. We were like just excited that like somebody nominated us
A
for
lot
best
of
cup
folks.
of coffee.
A lot of folks.
Yeah, it was like to be nominated on the list with all the amazing coffee shops. We got a lot of good coffee here in Fairbanks. So we're like on that list, and we're like, hey, cool, we're on the list. And then we won, and everybody was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, how did the weed shop win best cup of coffee? And like, I knew. It was like, high people think their coffee is really good. Like, coffee and weed is such a good combination that like, you smoke a J and have a cup of coffee, it's like, oh man, this is so fucking good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got best cup of coffee.
Oh, wow. Oh,
We
wow.
won a bunch of awards in the news minor. We've been best cannabis store.
Yeah.
6 years running.
Uh-huh.
And so that's been, a really cool one for us to operate a business in my hometown and to consistently get like some shine from the community like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah.
And then we also won best bar, which was another shocker to us.
Best bar.
Yeah, I mean, we
Better
don't serve
than the
alcohol.
Mecca?
We don't serve alcohol.
Better than the
but
Mecca?
Apparently, enough people were excited about a new type of bar.
Right,
There being
right.
a bar that serves cannabis.
Oh, wow.
That like they were willing to go put their votes in, and we were as shocked as anybody on that one as well. But it was very validating that there was enough people that were like excited about what we're doing
Yeah.
to say like, hey, that's a really cool bar.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't sell alcohol, like,
Yeah.
I'm excited about the shit that they do sell.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, you talked a lot earlier about kind of how your family's really involved in the shop and the growth and all that. What advice would you give to someone looking to enter the cannabis industry right now?
Entering the cannabis industry right now it's gonna be challenging, right? Like
Sure.
it'd be like entering the restaurant industry. Like if it's gonna be hard work, and you need to have a product that you stand behind, that you believe people are gonna want. I think that there's been a lot of what you see of the industry seems like all roses and everybody is super successful all the time, and it's just people are just printing money in the
Right.
cannabis industry.
Right.
And I'd say like you have to have a real passion for it. And I think if you don't like love the plant and love growing the plant and love all the aspects of the educating the consumers about the product and all of that, like it's a challenging industry, and it's not like I think what like the picture of legalization when we saw Colorado and Washington boom, like those markets boomed, and we saw reality shows and people become overnight millionaires. Here in Alaska, and I think kind of just in general now, the cannabis industry has leveled out quite a bit to where it's not overnight millionaires. It's more like starting a restaurant, and it's more like starting a bar or starting a brewery or something. Like there's a lot of investment that goes into it and a lot of hard work that goes into it before you start to like reap the benefits of it.
Right,
So,
right.
So, sub question part
Yeah.
B to the same one. You made a comment about you got to really like the plant if you're going to grow it, et cetera, et cetera. Would you say it might be easier for somebody to get into the business if they were just doing a dispensary and not actually growing, kind of selling other people's product?
Yeah, I mean, and then there's a saturation point to that as well. Like, if you have certainly if somebody had a really good location and a really good beat on what the products to buy are and the products that they want to serve to consumers are,
right.
then that might be a fun avenue for somebody to do. But even with that, like you need to be pretty well versed in in the industry and in the trends in the industry, and
Right.
how to stock your store and what people are into and all of that.
It's kind of like starting a tap house.
Totally.
Don't make your own beer, but you got to make sure you got the good beer.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah.
Right,
You
right,
gotta know
right.
what you're shopping for, and
Who
I
your
think
customers are.
who your customers are, what they're shopping for, and you might see very different customers from one shop to the next. Like people shopping at one shop because they give great deals, shopping at one shop because they have like the best product.
Right, right. Okay. Okay.
Bonus question, real quick.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
go ahead.
can. Kind of like the breweries. I know Bobby and
Zeb.
Carrie over there at Black Spruce and
Zeb.
Zeb.
Yep.
he over at 64?
Yeah.
They all kind of collaborate and they know each other well. They go have beers together. They visit each other's shops and whatnot. Is it kind of the same with the owners of the industry for cannabis here in Fairbanks?
Yeah, to an extent. Like a lot of us were on the campaign trail together, and I'd say those are the groups that I'm like still really close with. Like the guys that were holding up signs on University Avenue with me to legalize it.
Yeah.
Like some of the Good Titrations folks and a few other people around town that were like there from the beginning that I have a ton of respect for. That have been there for a long time. You know, we've all stayed pretty good friends. And,
okay, so
you know,
not
while
to
we're in competition.
Okay, so before I forget, you know how there's always those, well, if you open up a weed shop, this is what's going to happen. How many of those assumptions have been spoken when you were on the campaign trail that never came true, like some crazy ones?
Fucking all of them, man. Like, we had a politician tell us that if we legalized cannabis, children will die.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Wow. It was like deaths of children will be on your hands, and it was crazy.
How many kids have died since?
0. Come on. No one's ever died from cannabis.
Okay,
First of all,
I just want to throw that out there. Okay.
Just an absurd notion from a prohibitionist that it was just trying to be shock and awe about it, and like or just so miseducated. I think that was a lot of it as well.
Right.
And it's still almost 9 years in, a ton of stigma, a ton of miseducation, a ton of misinformation.
Still to this day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Just like, I mean, even like there was the legal shop that was busted recently. The notion that the THCA.
Well, because they were selling to like 13-year-olds.
Totally.
Right,
I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been busted.
Yeah.
But like the notion that the product that they were selling could be super dangerous or harmful.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't know exactly what's in it.
Right.
But in general, like that's your worry.
Yeah.
Right? Your worry is that you don't know exactly what's in the product, and if something that you don't want. But like cannabis in general is very safe, never caused a death. You can't overdose on the product, and overdose is a really good nap.
Right.
Like, yeah, maybe a little paranoia and a really good nap. Like, am I okay? Like, I don't think I'm okay. And everybody around you being like, you're okay. Just take a fucking nap, dude. So just in general, like, yeah, we still face some stigma around the product, and just some, like, people that, like yourself, that are so far away from it because of their work that they just, they might walk into our shop once you retire and be like, I don't even know where to start, and so there's, like, do I want a gummy? Do I want a soda?
I'm going to come see you, though. I'm going to come see you. I'm going to come see you. Yes.
But yeah, all of it can be super intimidating, it being like this whole new thing still. We're still so fresh. I mean, the industry being...
Really? You think so?
You think about the history of alcohol, and like alcohol since Prohibition, we've gone, over 100 years since Prohibition of alcohol. And we're 9 years since Prohibition of cannabis, right? So like this is going to be such a blip. Like talking about the early days of legalization is going to be so funny. Yeah, when my kids are operating the business, and like the way that cannabis is going to be thought about in 20 years and 40 years is going to be, just hilarious, like the same way with alcohol was once illegal.
It's crazy to think
what's
that it's
funny
been 9
is the
years.
fact.
Sorry.
I was going to say, what's funny is the fact that during Prohibition, weed was legal.
Yeah, totally.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hell,
And-
cocaine used to be legal, man.
Yeah, right.
It was the main ingredient in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was Coca-Cola. Exactly.
Hemp was in all our food back then, yeah. They were
Wow.
feeding it to the pigs too, so even you were getting cannabinoids in your meat because the pigs were eating hemp products. Like you guys are walking around so cannabinoid deficient right now. Like you have a cannabinoid system, and we all do, and y'all are starving. I'm full of it.
I took some edibles last night.
Hey, there you go. All right, yeah, I forgot. You have a new job.
Hemp doesn't really have any THC in it.
No THC, but it has other cannabinoids.
Okay,
But,
so
like-
hemp. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
so
Yeah.
I went to high school in Nebraska,
Yeah.
and we have there what we call a Nebraska ditch.
Yeah.
Because back during World War II, they needed rope. And
Yeah.
so they were planting hemp all over the place because hemp rope's not as good as nylon, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, right.
So you can't walk anywhere
You see hemp plants
in
pop up,
where
right?
we are. It's
Oh.
like it's just growing in the ditch. It looks like marijuana.
Yeah.
You know, we're like,
Really?
oh yeah.
So you came from there. Can you make hemp rope?
Look.
But anyway, so like,
Oh, man.
you'd have fields. You go out there, you think, oh shit, this is millions worth of. But
Yeah.
no, it's Nebraska ditch.
Yeah.
And during the fall, you would see people just kind of going around harvesting the Nebraska ditch
Scooping up a little ditchweed.
to cut the good stuff with.
Yeah.
And like,
That makes sense.
I was working for the Department of Roads there for a while, and I was talking with the surveyors. They had to go out and they'd survey fields, and they would get like pockets full of seeds because it just comes off on them. And one time I was walking back, and there was the I don't know if it was a state trooper or a sheriff, but they had the canine there. They just reached in his pocket and threw it on the ground. That dog was just like on him.
I've always wondered about that. Like, to a dog, the smell of like non-THC hemp weed and weed, I don't believe there would be any difference. Like, the dog's smelling smells, not smelling
It's probably
cannabinoids, right? Like,
Yeah.
So you're gonna get busted by a dog just as bad for like some Nebraska ditchweed as some like high grade from Pakalolo.
yeah, and the dog. And, I'm sure the dog is probably like, man, that's some shit.
Yeah. Dog knows it's like bad weed. Ugh.
It's related.
Okay, so question for you. Hemp is used to make a lot of different stuff. Is that a byproduct? Like, do you guys like waste a lot of stalks or stems that could be turned into hemp?
No,
like,
hemp is
would
a
it be-
cousin plant.
Oh, it's a cousin. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a viable business for somebody to take your
No.
waste and
No,
create a hemp
we grow like
manufacturing plant in
no,
Fairbanks.
totally different plant.
Okay.
Like a hemp plant is going to be like a bigger, stockier.
Okay, so why do
much bigger.
people have it confused with marijuana then?
They are cousins,
look
and
the
they
same, man.
they look the same. The hemp is bigger with bigger stalks.
Okay.
And typically,
but
those
people
big-
don't smoke it though.
You can, yes, you can flour out. There's like smokable hemp, and you can flour it, and it looks the same.
Yeah.
But it doesn't produce THC.
Just gives you a headache.
It produced CBD, and now there's people growing like really like boutique strains of hemp, like not Nebraska ditch anymore.
Yeah.
People are like now breeding hemp on purpose to grow like an NA beer, right? Like so, and
okay,
the other cannabinoids not being psychoactive like CBD
Yeah.
are present in hemp. So a lot of CBD
okay.
products are coming from giant fields of hemp in like Colorado, where they're growing like big outdoor, giant outdoor farms of it. Because you're not growing it like at that point you're not growing like trying to grow it for flour for smoking.
Right.
They might be growing giant fields, and all of it's going to get harvested for rope.
Right.
Or it's going to all go into an
okay,
extraction
okay.
and get the cannabinoids extracted out to be oils.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a different industry from a cousin plant, like a sister plant, I guess. Similar
Got
plant to
you.
cannabis, different cannabinoids, non-psychoactive.
Well, I'm glad we had this conversation
Yeah,
today
now,
because
little education.
I was thinking that hemp was a byproduct of like the weed plant.
Yeah, no, it's like
Okay.
it's a cousin plant, and then like certainly we have like stalks and stems and things like that, but they're not as big and robust that could be like turned into products
Gotcha.
and stuff. What we do with ours is we don't do any waste. Our facility is all self-contained, so we like grind all of our stems and stalks, and then we use that to feed our earthworms and top dress our flower beds.
Got you. Like you must have a lot of earthworms in that warehouse.
Well, in every bed, we have 4x4 by 2 foot deep beds.
Yep.
Right, and that's
Wait.
what,
Okay, 4x4 by 2 feet. Okay, so
Yeah.
so
That's
your
what each bed
so
goes
your
under
roots
a light.
don't so your roots only go down 2 feet.
I mean, they move around in that bed. I mean, if we were in the dirt, like outside, they would go down a lot
Yeah,
deeper. But
exactly.
like, it gives enough for a big root ball and
Okay.
for those roots to establish some really big hardy plants.
Yeah.
We grow anywhere from like 6 to 9 plants in each bed.
Okay.
And so then we have 100 and something beds.
Oh, wow.
In there, and each bed of soil at 4 by 4 by 2 feet has earthworms in there, has nematodes, has we're growing a living soil. It's organic. We're trying to recreate like the forest floor of the redwoods or the Amazon, where nobody's coming along and fertilizing that. Like the natural processes are fertilizing, through decomposition, and so we've got the earthworms helping with the decomposition, and so we nudge some of those processes. By adding compost and things like that. But we're trying to really grow the cleanest, most organic product you possibly can.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think Jeff, you got one more question?
Let's see. Our last question for the day, at least for the pre-prepared ones.
Well, from Jeff.
Where do you see your business in the industry in the next 5 years?
Oh, next 5 years. I'd really like to see, and I think the trend that we're seeing is a lot more social cannabis use. So we've got one of those tasting rooms, one of the only 4 in the state, and we're seeing that really kind of snowballing up now, where it was a lot of I've been very accustomed to smoking just in this one specific spot behind my garage for many years since it was illegal. Now I have to kind of get used to I can go and smoke with people. I can go and socialize. I can watch the March Madness games while I'm having a THC laced cocktail, and it's just a bit of education for that. But we're seeing a lot more new consumers come in and try it out and then enjoy it, and kind of using that space for a social atmosphere around cannabis that we haven't had for many years. We were just selling in a to-go way, and people were going home and doing it by themselves, and so now people getting to hang out with their friends and meet up with their friends after work to have some cannabis in one way or another is it's a really cool new part of the industry.
Got you. Okay, so check this out. So we're about to take a break.
Okay.
And for the second segment, we're going to come back and we're just going to free flow, sir.
Cool.
And so we're going to take that second segment. We're going to free flow, and then that's how we're going to close out today's third episode.
Hey,
so
perfect.
I'm about to hit the pause button. We'll take a little beer break, potty break, and then we'll be back, and we're just going to let it flow.
Right on.
All right. What's going on, Fairbanks? Okay, so we're back for part 2. We had an intermission. Everybody did a little potty break, and we got a little beer refresh.
Yes, sir.
And look here. This is part 2 of our interview with the owner of Pakalolo, Keenan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm on. I'm getting close to ounce 36 here.
And Jeff, how are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling great.
Brandon?
Thumbs up all the way.
All right. So this is the portion of the interview where we're just gonna free flow.
Cool.
And we're just gonna straight shooter.
And probably burp a little bit.
and burp a little bit more. Okay. So,
But
who wants to go first?
I had a question I was actually right about to ask before we took the break.
Okay, go ahead.
And without giving away any trade secrets, but this kind of intertwines your industry with my industry. You talked a lot about basically your farming inside.
Yeah.
But not only are you farming inside, but you're farming inside in Fairbanks, Alaska, where the temperatures outside can get to 40, 50 below at any given time during, November to February?
Yeah.
Right? So what was the challenges with recreating basically a climate inside?
That's been our
Good
biggest.
question.
That's a really good question.
Good
That's
question.
been our biggest challenge overall of trying to take an old food distribution warehouse and get it to be climate controlled enough to year round, which we have such varying climates, the biggest climate change from in the seasons anywhere in the world essentially. So we have to deal with, like you were saying, extreme cold and to an extent extreme heat of
Correct,
and if not for very many days, but it makes it hard because the amount of heat that we get in the summer for the short amount of time makes it hard to invest that much money that you would have to invest in AC
Correct.
for 40 days,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
of running
right.
AC, but it's the same investment for 40 days or 365 days of AC.
Right.
And so trying to deal with the temperature spikes and keeping the plants cool is actually a bigger problem for us than the winter time with the cold. With the cold, actually, we use it as our friend a little bit. We don't use the ACs. We developed a system where we pump in cold air, let it sit and mix with our exhaust from our other flower room. Flower room 2 exhaust mixes with cold air and then moves to cool both flower room 1 and flower room 2.
So how did you figure this out though? Like trial and error?
Yeah, a little trick.
Or YouTube.
A little bit of both, and then some awesome people, some awesome locals here. Like our contractor, Craig Fowler, is just a stud. He's like the best contractor around, and just works independently. And
shout out to Craig.
Yeah, man, Craig's the guy. And then and my dad's just gotten super creative over time. Of like, right now we can't afford the full HVAC system.
Yeah.
So we got to get creative.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No, and so like, we kind of, we got into a building that was over our head at the beginning.
Right.
Moved into a very small portion of it.
Right.
And then expanded our grow every harvest.
Right.
So like we
right.
made the money from the first small harvest, bought more lights.
Yes.
And then the
yes.
third grow was bigger. So we already had
Yes.
started the second grow. So like
Yes.
by the time we got the lights in, the third grow was bigger.
Yeah.
And then, it kind of, then the fifth grow or sixth grow was even bigger than
Right.
that. And so we
Yes.
slightly moved in to the building over time to
Yeah.
fill it out with lights and
Now, you did a George Jefferson on them.
yeah, just kind of keep adding on and adding on, right?
Moving on up.
Yeah.
So those lights put off a good amount of heat, right?
Yeah, we run all LEDs, so we're trying to be
okay.
as low wattage and less heat as possible.
So they put off less heat than the old traditional way
yeah,
of
like
doing it?
a high pressure sodium or whatever. Like those kind of lights are putting off a ton of heat.
Right.
And so we deal with less light heat, but we still deal with a considerable.
But you still have to cool it a little bit. And
yeah, and we still have to exhaust light heat. Like
winter air is